Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Jonathan back again with the weekly scuffle. Today I'm talking about Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas. That fight was just announced today. They're looking for it to take place early next year in 2022. Honestly, this is a great fight for boxing, a unification fight in the welterweight division. Honestly, one of my favorite divisions in boxing. You got Ugas, Spence, Crawford. You got young guys like Virgil Ortiz, Connor Ben, and you got some older people like Adrian Broner, but still with big-ish names. But honestly, this fight is a good fight. I mean, you could clearly see what's happening. Spence was trying to get this belt from Pacquiao before he had to drop out. That's when Ugas stepped in, won against Pacquiao. We all know Pacquiao was towards the end of his career. But regardless, Spence is now coming back after he's recovered from his injury and he's ready to take on the new champion. And honestly, I think this is a good fight. I don't think it's an easy fight by any stretch. I think Ugas is one hell of a fighter. But I do think Spence will inch this one out. I think he's overall the better boxer. But you never know. It's boxing. One punch could really change the fight. And I think this was a very competitive fight for the beginning of next year. But to talk about the other side of this coin, Terrance Crawford, he's a free agent. Honestly, I don't want him to be kind of stagnant, not really fighting and just waiting for Spence. I'd rather him go in there and make maybe a mega fight against a Virgil Ortiz. I'd really love to see that. Virgil Ortiz, one of the best up and coming prospects, 18 fights, 18 KOs. And that would be one hell of a fight. I mean, if Crawford could beat Ortiz, probably the most promising prospect in the welterweight division and in boxing, and then go and unify the division all in one year, that would be one hell of a way to like just reassure his legacy. And then no one could really say things because the whole knock on Terrance Crawford was he hasn't really fought anybody. He fought Sean Porter, he beat Sean Porter, and I mean if he keeps fighting these top guys and beating them, that's it. You can't really complain. If he becomes undisputed at welterweight, as competitive as welterweight is, I think he definitely climbs up the pound for pound list. I would favor Terrance Crawford in an Errol Spence fight, and I think he would honestly be pound for pound number two at that point, right after Canelo. But that's if he beats Virgil Ortiz. But I just want him to fight these top guys, and I think it's gonna be a good fight regardless. I think 2022 is hopefully shaping up to be a big year, and hopefully we get to see Crawford versus Spence, one of the biggest fights that can be made in boxing next year. But with all that being said, we'll see how this plays out and see y'all next time.